is the Glass Cannon Network.
Delta Green is slowly, insidiously destroying my life. I have been completely absorbed in this game, quote unquote, this real thing that's eating away at my life.
Is it a game?
That's the question, Skit. For weeks and weeks, I've delved deeper and deeper. And let me tell you something. No good comes of it. Nothing that you read in this makes anything better in life. I was just, we are pretty deep into baseball season now. The baseball season started at a time when the weather's not so great, but now the weather's really getting great and makes me think of baseball. And I'm just like, I want to absorb as much as I can. And,
how are the Orioles doing?
Asks Roger. For those listening at home, Troy has come in cosplay, his brewery cap and aviators. And he's got his lips puffed out. I don't know what the new Roger lips thing is.
Did Roger have some work done?
I like doing duck lips.
Young Roger.
Right.
Young
This is my
Roger.
constant
He's very
scowl.
plump.
Yeah, that's a very Roger thing.
Did
Anyway.
Brooks Robinson hit for the cycle last night?
Speaking of Brooks Robinson in the older days of baseball, I was looking for something a little wholesome to watch in the baseball realm. And so I watched an old favorite of mine that I hadn't seen in 20 years. I'm sure, Skid, you probably love a little film called Field of Dreams.
Oh, I actually just
I was
watched
gonna
that
say
again
Sandlot,
myself
too.
a few days ago.
You did? Yeah. So I hadn't watched it, I don't know, in 20 years probably, right?
Based
but I watched
on
it a ton
true
before
story.
that.
It is.
Based on a true story. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So as I'm
That
sitting and
happened to Kevin
watching
Costner.
it, and as the dead shoeless Joe Jackson walks out of a cornfield onto this guy's baseball field, he looks out the window and smiles slightly. And his wife says something along the lines of like, "I'll put on some coffee. You two should go chat." And I'm sitting there going, how are they not screaming and running down the street? Like, a person is walking out. And then there's dozens of them. And then everybody is seeing unnatural stuff. And not a single one of them is like horrified. They're all just like, this is awesome. And I'll tell you something, before I read Delta Green, I felt the same way. I was like, this is just so relaxing and interesting. And now I'm thinking like those people's minds would be destroyed. They would be unable to re-enter their real life. So yes, in short, Delta Green is ruining my enjoyment of simple pleasures of magic and wonder.
Somebody do a sand check on Kevin Costner.
For real.
Angels in the outfield? No way. Angels are bad. No way. I'm not going near that.
Kill him.
Kill him. Shoot him down.
Right. Not only kill the angels, but everyone that saw angels. They all have to die.
Isn't that a
Everyone that was
sign?
at that game.
Isn't that a sign of the apocalypse anyway? Like angels showing up to play baseball?
It must be.
Yeah,
It
that
must
was
be.
in the Bible. That was in the
Revelation.
Bible. That was Revelations.
Yeah, not those biblical angels. Those things are fucked up.
Yeah.
If you saw those, your brain would explode. True Delta Green style.
I
That
looked
should have
this
been
up
a
the
movie.
other day. The what the biblical depiction of an angel is insanity.
It's
And
the
I was like,
Evangelion,
do people
like-
believe that this really what they look like? They're horrifying.
Yeah.
Google biblical depiction of an angel,
my God.
and you
Oh, yeah,
will
I see this.
shit your pants. It is horrifying.
Yeah.
I just
They
thought it
don't
was
look
like a
like-
guy. Like, hey, I mean, look
Yeah.
at my
They don't
white
look like
robe
Aasimar.
and wings. No, they're like a folding door with 7 eyes and
it's literally Evangelion. It's like a billion eyeballs in a line, and that's it. It's like that's the angel.
Yeah, look at it. It's like a star-shaped thing with an eye in it and wings. Yep.
Is that? Oh God.
Oh God.
Horrifying.
A tiger's mouth with an eye coming out of it. It's horrible.
Joe's like, shut up. This is the whole game. Shut up.
It's got it right there. There it is.
There it is. That's what I'm looking at now on,
my God.
on the screen.
Yeah, no thanks.
Now imagine if those showed up at a baseball game.
Yeah, see, that's the movie it should have been. That should have been your movie right there.
Guillermo del Toro's Angels in the Outfield.
Exactly. It does get in your head though a little bit when you're delving into a new campaign, a campaign that we're about to really start in earnest today. Delta Green's Impossible Landscapes, which is it's very exciting, very daunting, and very cool in my mind to finally have a get in the trunk game that is a campaign, long form, open ended. Let's see where the players take it. It is, however, subtitled A Pursuit of the Terrors of Carcosa and the King in Yellow. And we do a lot of this stuff. We've dabbled in Strange Aeons with some of these themes. We've played some Cthulhu, Call of Cthulhu, which dabble in some of these themes sometimes. I'm curious, Francis, if you know anything about this. Do you know anything about the King in Yellow or Carcosa? Is that something? You watch True Detective, right?
I did, yeah. And I just finished season 2 of Get in the Trunk, so I was totally like looking up all the references. I looked up the King in Yellow and like the episode where you guys were talking about it, and it sounds creepy as all hell. Like this guy wrote this like before Lovecraft, like long before Lovecraft. That's crazy, and the concept is just insane.
It is. It literally. It's insane. That is the best possible way to describe it. Sydney, are you familiar with these themes, the themes of the King in Yellow and Carcosa?
Well, one is from True Detective. That is like my sort of TV knowledge. But then also playing, I keep wanting to say Legacy of the Ancients.
Strange Aeons.
Strange Aeons. Thank you. Strange Aeons. With you guys also was a little dip into like the tabletop version, but I have yet to play any Cthulian games where we actually get into it. So I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, it is insanity to begin exploring. But it is something that, for those things that you don't know about it, I urge you, especially Francis and Sydney, not to look into it anymore. Like let the campaign guide you through this journey, and try to not read too much because it is going to be important for you to play characters that have no idea what's going on.
That's good advice if you ever run into the King in Yellow in real life, too.
It really is.
Don't look into it any further.
Don't want to know.
I have a
happy not knowing.
I have a statue of the King in Yellow because my mother-in-law sent me this package. It came in the mail like 2 years ago. It was just this wooden box with no fucking, it didn't know who it was from or what it looked like. At first I was like, it's a bomb. And then I was like, maybe not. And so I pop it open. I had to use like a crowbar to pop it open. And there's just a bunch of shit inside. There's a copy of the play, The King in Yellow, which supposedly if you read it, you go insane. And then there's all these like cryptic messages, and there's handwriting within the play. And then there's a statue of the King in Yellow as well. Well, come to find out it's from this group called the Mysterious Package Company, and you can send it to people and fuck around with it. But now I've got this statue, and every night I prick my finger and rub the blood on it while I envision opening a door to Carcosa so the King in Yellow can come here.
Who sent
My mother-in-law.
That's great. That's awesome.
She does not like you? She does not like you.
Am I right?
She's like, he loves Carcosa.
She's a little heavy-handed. She really wants to make sure her grandkids get really in deep with the King in Yellow and Carcosa.
She really, it sounds like she's really trying to send a message to you.
Yeah. She wants your children to sacrifice you on the altar.
She wants you to die. She wants you to go insane and die. She's not being particularly subtle about it either.
Really, yeah.
All right. Well, I think we should start. It is a daunting project, and I am nervous and excited to see where you guys take it. Now, I should say that we did in episode 1, we created characters, which was really fun, and a lot of that is on the spot. So I'm just going to give you guys a little, freedom right now to kind of like change anything you want as we just get started here underway. I think I really wanted your character sheets to be cleaned up. Everybody's character sheets are cleaned up. The numbers are good to go. But if there's anything you decide you want to change in terms of your look or your bonds or anything like that, just let me know as we get started, and we can mess around with it. Oh, I'm going to do one more thing to make this different, because as opposed to our traditional feel of season is an operation, season is an operation, season is an operation, this being a long-term campaign, I want you guys to be able to utilize the home mechanics as you see fit and when you see fit, or when you believe that your character needs it. So if there's ever a time that you want to do a home scene, either just narratively speaking, feel free to just throw it out there and do a home scene. Or if you ever want it to be mechanical, if you're ever like, I really need to try to get some sanity points back, I want to do a home scene that is based around recovering sanity, feel it out. I'm expecting you guys not to abuse this. I think that it's going to be, paced well, knowing you and trusting your abilities to tell stories. But if you feel like there's a time when your agent needs to step away for a moment and just do a little self-healing, like, say it, announce it at any time, and it's all yours. We'll go with it, and we'll do those scenes. I want to explore a little bit more about healing while you're looking into these kind of terrifying things, and see how we can balance it out back and forth.
That's the interesting thing, because since we've never played like a long form adventure like this, so ordinarily this is the kind of thing that's done on your off time after you finish your mission, whereas this is like a really extended mission where. Yeah, so you have to make allowance for that. So that's awesome.
Also, when I play with friends, I almost always die. So it doesn't matter. Right. The game's over when the game's over. So
we can just be like, time out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Time out.
Time out.
Rewind.
I need to go home.
I need to go home.
Yeah. Base.
My first
Everyone's
home
pointing their
scene.
guns, and Francis goes, I'd like to go home now.
I'd like to go home now.
My first home scene is going to be getting prescription sunglasses because I can't see anything.
Okay. That seems important, yeah.
I don't know who's talking, and I can't see.
Yeah.
For Cumstone to be walking around with those on inside all the time, he's going to need some prescription sunglasses.
I want to get some too.
All right, let's do it. Let's dive in.
Okay.
Just want you to know, we're all counting on you.
I know. This is freaking brutal. Every other Delta Green I ran before was like, easy edit if I screw up. Not this time. This time it's live. It's hot.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. The mic is hot. I can't edit out all that foul stuff that Sydney says. So we'll try not to take the network down with you, Sid. All right, here we go.
I'm trying.
Okay. We're going to open, as we so often do in my games, with a good aerial shot. Love a good aerial. This time, it's going to be Lower Manhattan opens up, and Battery Park. We see giant skyscrapers reflecting the hot sun on a cloudless day. Noticeable immediately to all of us, at least it is for me when I watch these older movies. The Twin Towers of the World Trade Center stand tall over everything else around it. Then we hear a voiceover, a man's voice. New York City. Then a wider shot of Manhattan. Now we see the iconic Chrysler Building, the Empire State Building, the trees of Central Park, blooming in summer. Why here? Then we see Times Square, bumper-to-bumper traffic, dull sounds of horns honking, not a speck of sidewalk to be seen. It's completely covered in tourists, commuters, addicts, sex workers. Because there's no better chance for chaos to break through. We see giant signs over Times Square, Showgirls, Fujifilm, Coca-Cola, and a 50-foot neon sign that just says Rush, with the smiling face of Rush Limbaugh looking down over the passersby. Millions of chances. Every day. We cut to a side street off of Broadway and we see Phantom of the Opera at the Majestic. Les Mis at the Imperial. Sing, dance, perform, cash your paycheck, grab a ticket to the ball game. Boom, changes to a helicopter shot of Shea Stadium. You hear the crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd as Rico Bronya hits a homer. Call your friends.
Gilkey.
Bernard Gilkey. Call your friends. Have a barbecue. We see Riverside Park. Colombian music plays from a boombox as meat sizzles on park grills and thousands of families and friends gather to escape their sweltering apartments. And now we cut back downtown, another high rise. Through floor-to-ceiling glass windows, we see a room full of suits. People just closing another deal. Then the voice again. Buy a building. Sell an idea. We jump to a shot of 23rd and Park Avenue, where one entire side of a building is a colossal poster of Matthew Perry and Jennifer Aniston laughing and holding a copy of Windows 95. It's all the same. A show. A delusion. Millions and millions that think they make choices. We see Mayor Rudy Giuliani on a podium, smiling and shaking hands with Augustus Bridges, Caesar Bridges' father, as cameras flash at the two of them. And they think their choices matter. They don't. If you look close, you can see their fear just beneath the surface. Then a crowded subway platform. If they stop pretending, they'll die. A skate park in Brooklyn. Then we cut to nighttime. One last pullback and a wide shot of Manhattan and all the other boroughs. The lights everywhere of the city below us. New York City. That's where it all started. Or where it ended. Or where it always was. And the card comes up on screen. Impossible landscapes.
Cool.
The title card fades away. And we stay at night, cut to a corner of a small block in Queens. There's a payphone, and a man stands at the phone. We see him from far away, and we're slowly moving toward him. He's tall, 6'1", dark complexion, dark hair, dark suit, dark shoes. Everything about him is dark. He hangs up the phone as he finishes a call, and we see him start walking away. But something seems wrong. He's moving slowly, a little awkwardly, a little unsure on his feet. Maybe a little bit of a limp. We follow him down the block. He walks maybe a block and a half, and then turns to a small apartment building. He goes to walk up the steps and stumbles a little. Out the door comes a young man, who pushes past. Our guy reaches out, grabs the door before it can close and lock once again, and he slips inside. He walks up a flight of stairs, then another flight, and down a small hallway, till he stands and stops in front of a wooden door. He reaches into the pocket of his suit jacket and pulls out a badge. You see it says FBI on the side of it. Holds it out and reaches up with his other hand. Bam, bam, bam! 3 American knocks. Bam, bam, bam! On the door. It says FBI. Bam, bam, bam! FBI! Open the... Click, the door opens. And Sydney, what do we see?
Oh.
You see a petite 5'5" woman with short brown hair and like a little pixie cut, big brown eyes, and she has on a bathrobe because it's late, and she comes to the door, swings it open. She's wearing like bra and underwear underneath, looks up and just says, "Christopher, get inside, get inside. What the fuck are you doing?"
I've got a warrant to search this place, ma'am.
Shut up, get in. She pulls him inside and closes the door and locks the 3 locks on it behind her.
And this guy turns, and now we see Christopher Di Piazza, Vicki Ricci's soon-to-be ex-husband. We know from character creation that they're separated and are supposed to be getting a divorce. He comes in, laughing. I've got a warrant to search this place. Looking around. Where are the cigarettes, ma'am? Where are the cigarettes? He starts like opening drawers in your place.
Stop. You're being so loud. Here, do you actually want a cigarette, or what do you want?
Yes, I actually want a cigarette.
Okay.
He puts down his badge. And he stretches and pulls off his jacket, and you see he's got a gun holstered at his side. Throws his jacket over a chair and looks for that cigarette.
And she kind of tightens her robe a little bit. Now she's like, feels a little awkward, and she's in her bra and underwear, and she like tightens her robe. Stands there cross-armed. Christopher.
Yeah, what? He's unbuckling his gun.
It's almost 1 a.m. You can't just barge in here at whatever time you want, knocking on the door, scaring everybody in my building.
I didn't just barge in. I called. You said I had to call. And I called. And he pulls the gun off of his chest, sets it down, clong, hits heavy on a desk. I called. You said I could come up. I'm sorry. It was a joke. I'm sorry. Seriously, do you got smokes?
Yeah. She goes into her kitchen and opens a drawer. 3 packs of cigarettes in there. She takes one out.
He pulls out a smoke, lights it. Rough fucking day, man. Rough day. I'm glad you were up.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep. I have a big meeting tomorrow, and I'm just...
Big meeting. Big meeting at the Postal Inspector Service. He laughs a little bit.
Yeah, actually, we had a big bust last week. I'm sure you heard about it.
No, I didn't. Sorry. It doesn't really make news in the FBI room.
Hilarious. You can stay on the couch if you need a place to stay. Like I said, big... What? Shaking your head like that.
Sure, on the couch, yeah, definitely.
Christopher, I told you. I said, I'm serious. I'm putting my foot down.
I'm going to the couch. He starts sexily taking off his white undershirt, his white button-down shirt.
Christopher,
Starts kind of dancing for you.
I'm serious. I'm serious. And she takes his cigarette and like takes a drag of it. She goes, I'm serious. I'm being serious right now.
And we cut. Are you going to sleep with him tonight?
Of course.
So we immediately cut to just Sex scene in the bedroom. It's like, bam, goes right to the bedroom.
Sex check.
I got 100%.
Roll dexterity times 5.
I want to roll 2. I fumbled. 97. Let's go.
I've got an 80 in sex. So
That's so strong.
pretty good.
That's really strong.
That's pretty damn good, Vic.
You don't need to roll.
Strong
Pretty damn good.
scores. Strong scores.
And so we see them kissing and doing their thing. Sex scene that cuts away right at a classy time. And we kind of go out the window into the night. And then we see it's the next day. Next day rises and we go to let's go Lower East Side. Okay, we go to Lower East Side to a coffee shop on the Lower East Side that has some outdoor seating, and we pick up with I don't know, Skid. What does it look like? Tell me what this coffee shop looks like.
It's a pretty just a hipstery, very like hipstery, artsy coffee shop. A lot of really ugly paintings for sale on the walls. A lot of posers sitting around trying to impress each other. You all know the place.
You know the place. We come in and we see two people sitting at a table, and we see a woman in a sharp-looking suit, very fashionable-looking, high heels, and she's sitting across from Skid's character, who remains unnamed, was not named during character creation. So, Skid, who is sitting across from this woman, and what does he look like?
So you're seeing sitting across from her, Neil Bachmann, acclaimed weirdo indie director and medical doctor.
Love it.
He's wearing like his customary sort of black leather alligator pattern jacket. He's dressed like Rick Ocasek, basically. And he's except
Such a
he
good
has
reference.
except he has like all these like silver and turquoise jewelry, like tons of it, like on each finger. These each like strange, bizarre. So yeah, like I was saying, something like it's like Rick Ocasek by way of Santa Fe. So yeah, so he's sitting there sipping on an espresso.
And what are they talking about? What is he saying?
Well, look, Fran, honestly, I will get the machine fixed. I will get it fixed. I don't care. It doesn't bother me that you come to my office for your coffee fix, regardless of the fact that we live in a city with more coffee shops per capita than anywhere outside of, I don't know, Colombia. But what does bother me is that you keep calling it the latte machine. It's not a latte machine.
It's a latte machine.
I know you like lattes and you use it to make lattes, but that's not what it is. It's an espresso machine, and you use that espresso to make your precious lattes.
A lot more people drink lattes than drink espressos.
I like lattes
too. It should be called a latte machine. The majority of the output is latte based.
It's just a pet peeve of mine. Please. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard every time you say it. Please, just do me that
whatever
one
you want
favor.
to call it. Whatever you want to call it, Neil.
Well, the important
Get it
thing,
fixed.
I'm going to get it fixed.
The important thing is what? What is the important thing?
The important thing is, I don't know. I guess I just like a little bit more respect.
Oh, you would like a little bit more respect.
Yeah,
Okay.
a little more regard. I mean, if you're going to be using my latte machine, then God
Well, let
damn
me
it, now
ask you
you've got
this.
me doing it.
Exactly. That's because it is a latte machine.
It's not. That is just silly. You can't.
If
like,
you want
go,
to have a back and forth on respect, I'm open to that conversation. I would just like to know, first of all, what you thought of my piece this week.
Oh, your piece.
That you definitely read.
I read it. I really liked it. I liked the part where you talked about the people. I thought that was very vivid. And it was one of your better pieces, I thought.
You see, as soon as you start reading my stuff, I will start respecting your machine. Can we agree on that?
All right. I'll find some time during the week to read it. I'm sure it was. You're very talented.
Well, it's the one on the Van Fritz family. So when you get a chance to check it out, I would love your feedback. That's all.
Okay.
And don't get a big head about it. You're not some great artist. I know who you are, Neil.
Well, there are lots of people in this very neighborhood that would disagree with you, I think, on that, but fine.
All right. Well, I have to get to the office. I'm late. I'm going to be late.
Yeah, I do too.
You got this, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Love you.
Love you. And she leans over, gives you a kiss on the cheek. And heads out the door to Vanity Fair, where she's an assistant editor. Amazing.
Latte machine.
Now, we cut to Washington Square Park. In the corner, the southwestern-ish corner of this rather large park, which I think you all know pretty well, but for the listeners, this is in the southern-ish part of Manhattan. It is right near New York University. It's a large park. If you've ever seen like the arch from When Harry Met Sally, like that scene, that's Washington Square Park, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
There's also
around this time, I think it is like the number one destination for people seeking crack.
yes, yeah,
It is.
there is a lot of drug
random.
use. It's a lot going on in
Still
that
a
park.
great place for crack.
It is. It's still sort of a mecca for crack.
Still some of the best crack in New York.
If you come to New York
crack
and you
in
want
New
some
York.
crack,
Oh, you're looking
just
for
head
crack.
down there.
Let me tell you. Take the F train.
We cut to this southwestern part of this rather large park and see a series of a dozen chess tables that are outside. And there's all kinds of folks lined up playing chess, most of them on the older end, because it's a Tuesday. So in the middle or the early morning. So yeah, mostly old, seems like retired folks. But we close in on one table in particular where an old man sits across from, what does this guy look like? Francis.
So, Robert Bobby Walford, he's unassuming man. Off the rack suit, looks very, very basic. Clean cut, average build, not very big at all. Pretty wiry, more like lanky. He sits there, he's got his eyes sharp, darting around, checking out the people in the park. And he is also just keeping an eye on the guy right across from him, just kind of examining him. The guy is focused on the chessboard, looking at his moves, his next move. Bobby's got a brown paper bag with a bottle inside, right on his side here, and he puts it out on the table as an offering to the old man. Dobry dien, Paukovnik. This is for you.
He takes his eyes off of the chessboard for a moment. This guy is pretty ratty looking, messed up, gray, blackish hair, a beard that's very unkempt, and seems like it's just unshaven rather than a beard, but just unshaven for a few days. He's wearing pretty ratty, casual clothes, and he looks from the chessboard for a moment over at this bottle in the brown bag. He says, "Thank you." He goes back to the board. makes a move. Pawn to Queen's Knight 4. And leans back. So, why so early today? What's with the morning game? Don't you have work?
Yeah, I actually had to take off today. There's something that came up, so won't be going into the office. Figured I'd meet up with you early so you could check in,
Oh,
see how you're doing.
something came up. Something with us. No, something else.
It's a job. That's about all I can share with you. But it's gonna take up a bit of my time.
All right, your turn, you go. He reaches over for the bag as you start to look at the chess pieces. He looks inside of it. What does he see? Does he just see a bottle, or is there anything else in there?
He's got a bottle of Russian Standard vodka, which he is his particular brand.
Very nice. Very nice. He sets it down on the ground next to him, and he looks off to the right, and he just slowly nods. The camera shoots over there for a second. You see two large guys on a bench, and younger guys, and they just nod, and they stand up and walk away.
So you're getting comfortable here in New York? You feel like you can make this home?
Yes, not too many good chess players. Little lacking. You'll need more work. But you are taking care of me.
That's my job. I'm hoping this might be reciprocated. As I take care of you, you can take care of me with maybe some more information.
All in time. All in time. Don't rush. Okay? Chess is a game of patience. Take your time. And do yourself a favor and don't change meeting times on a whim. It makes people... And he's just looking at the board. Unsettled.
Noted. Unfortunately, this couldn't be helped, so...
All right, well then. Tomorrow then at 6.
Tomorrow at 6.
Well, I will see you then. And he just moves a piece and says, Mate in 3. There's nothing you could do. And he stands up. Takes the bottle, slowly walks away, and we just see Bobby looking at the board and realizing that he's right.
Make a sex check.
As you're looking over the board, we see go right by you, Bobby. You see a middle-aged, somewhat heavy-set man, late 30s, early 40s, carrying a brown leather valise at his side. He walks right past you, doesn't see you, and is heading towards another part of the park. You immediately take notice of this. What do you do?
All right, give him a few minutes, let him walk past, and then I start to follow. I
See
follow him
Bobby.
down the street.
I'm going to assume they're your chess pieces. So let's say you clean those up and
Sure. Yeah.
and,
I'll pack
box
up my
those
chess
up.
pieces.
then we cut to this man who's walking with this briefcase. He strolls up to a statue that is also in the western quadrant of the park. And he looks a little bit jittery. He walks up, he looks around, he looks to his right, he looks to his left. He holds the brown leather valise in both hands in front of him. It just sort of starts rocking back and forth. And he's looking at this statue. It's sort of like a cement column At the top of it is a sculptured, I don't know the material, brass maybe, like a sculptured brass bust of a person. Seeing that, he's just looking at it, but then every once in a while you see his eyes dotting out to the side. And what he doesn't see is a hulking young soldier who's watching him from afar. For the 5th time, Troy, would you like to introduce the one and only?
You see this guy, and he has on a bomber jacket that is bulging underneath a massive frame. He's played by me.
You cast yourself in the role.
He's got on black Wayfarers Ray-Bans, just like I'm wearing right now. They're very expensive. He also has on a Baltimore Orioles cap, snapback. Looks old, like it's seen better days, both in the world and for the Orioles. And he is taking in everyone in the park. He's looking at the tops of buildings for snipers, even though he knows there are no snipers there. He's just worried. He's always worried. Takes out a pack of Marble Reds, undoes the cellophane, takes one out, makes a lucky, pulls the other one out, lights it up, and then walks over to where this guy is standing near the statue. Slowly.
Okay. As you take in the park, you see it is very crowded this morning. It's 10 a.m. on Tuesday morning, and it is already heavily crowded with a mixture of tourists and what look like students, right? College kids.
Snipers.
Snipers crawling with snipers.
Yes, of course, on the rooftops, about every 30 feet, there's a sniper muzzle
I knew it!
sticking out over the edges.
Muzzle flashes.
No cleaner.
This park has a huge fountain in the center, big fountain, and a lot of people kind of congregate around that. You can just your alertness, your senses are just through the roof for like detecting all the stuff that's going on around you, and you can just smell weed on the air, and you can have just the odor of the city is passing through.
Churros.
Yes, exactly.
Churros.
Churros.
And the nuts for nuts carts along every corner.
Yes.
That heady mix of weed, churros, and honey roasted nuts.
Get your hot nuts. Hot
New York
nuts.
City.
Hot nuts.
Guilford
Roll a
Gottfried is
sex
doing
check.
hot nuts. Roll a sex check.
You see kids dancing, break dancing. They've got a boombox set up, and they're breakdancing for tips. There's a hat in front of them. They're doing all kinds of like crazy moves.
He doesn't care for that. And you can see it on his face. Get a job, he thinks.
Quit all that merrymaking.
As he's taking all this in, he lights up a cigarette and starts making his way toward the man. As you're making your way there, you see this guy standing, looking at the statue. He does not notice you coming up, and he's just sort of swaying back and forth on his feet.
And Roger comes up to him. Pulls his
What is that
cigarette
you
out.
put in your mouth?
Paper. An old check.
An old check.
It's an old 30 Rock residual check for $4.38. My scene was cut, and I still get checks.
The union.
Light it up.
Takes a long drag, stares at the statue, and without looking at the guy, gestures with a cigarette and says, I've always admired Ward's work.
And you see this guy's eyes widen a little bit, and he says, me too, but Hastings always gets the credit. And he looks at you, and you nod, and he just says, you're the first. Go sit over there. And he points to a bench. It's a little to the east of the monument. I'll get the rest. And you see him looking around. Your alertness is not picking up any danger around, but he seems to think there is. Maybe he's a little paranoid.
Roger takes in the fact that this guy is barely up to the task, and it makes Roger nervous, seeing how nervous this guy is. So he takes that in and wonders if by the end of the day, he'll have to kill this man. And then he goes and sits on the bench.
That's how he thinks. How he sees the world.
Everybody's a hairbreadth from death.
Everyone is a potential victim.
With that, we see Bobby Walford comes walking into the scene after cleaning up his chessboard. And this is the person you saw walk by you, Bobby. You kind of tracked him to here. You saw him talk to someone else. You don't know if that was a chance exchange or if he's meeting multiple people. What do you do?
Bobby casually strolls up next to this guy and stands there to his left, staring at the statue. After a minute or so, he looks around. I've always admired Ward's work.
Me too, but Hastings always gets the credit. Over there's an ally. Another agent. Go sit and wait. We're waiting for 2 more. He's saying under his breath, and you look over and you see a hulking beast of a soldier sitting on a bench. What do you do, Bobby?
Jesus. Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus. And he takes this guy in. Jesus.
Tries to hide the immediate fear and collects himself and walks over and grabs a seat, not too far, not too close.
Roger just stares at him. What's your name?
Bobby's not trying to make eye contact.
You guys would theoretically refer to yourself by your code name, just so you know. You would want to keep your identity secret. So,
God.
What's your name?
Makeshift. Agent Makeshift.
You may call me Messiah.
Jesus.
All right.
All right.
You were right. You did say Jesus Christ.
You did.
And
You totally
absolutely
called it.
right.
I guess I was correct in my assessment. Okay.
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 He takes it a long drag.
And they sit in silence, presumably. Nothing else is said.
Mm-hmm. No, he says, you like sports?
Yeah, sure. I like a little baseball, a little basketball.
Little baseball, eh? Who's your team?
You know, I'm a sucker for punishment. I'm a Mets fan.
Yeah. National League. It's a child's game. Free out every 9 hitters. It's a joke. Mark my words. Sometime in the next 20 years, they're going to get rid of that bullshit.
That's crazy. You're crazy, Todd.
DH is the way to go.
All right, I'll take your word for that.
Well, Vicki Ricci is going to go through this same code process. But my question is, how does Vicki know to come here? How does Vicki get this message? And what happened to Chris? Like, so last we saw, he was sleeping over, and you guys had a sleepover, and he is, you're supposed to be separated. So what happened there?
Yeah, I think this is par for the course. Vicki wakes up, Chris is there again, and she's like, well, fuck. And it's like 5:30 a.m. She slips out of bed quietly, gets all her shit, gets her gun, gets her tactical vest, all her stuff for work, slips into her kitten heel stilettos and is wearing a tight pencil skirt and a little like blazer. She has red acrylic nails, and she puts on her makeup quietly in the bathroom and leaves a note.
And he's just passed out because he showed up drunk. Oh, and also we should probably remind people that like Vicki, pardon me, did all this dead sober, because she's been sober, what, 2 years?
Yeah, she's been sober 2 years. Before that, she was sober a year. So she fights her sobriety, but she has been sober for 2 years. And sometimes Chris comes over drunk. She doesn't drink and tries not to ever around him because he is kind of a mess. But she wakes up, writes him a note, puts it on the headboard of the bed right above him so he can't miss it. And it just says, had my meeting, I told you, lock up, we'll talk. And then just V with a V. She gets her stuff and she takes her bus. She takes like the city bus in because she's in Middle Village. So she's got to go all the way into Manhattan for work. So and I think the way that she's recruited is she's on the bus and it's early. It's like 6 a.m. Nobody's really out. And there's a dude on the bus. There's only a few people on this bus, and this guy is staring at her, just like staring. And she's sitting there trying to ignore him, but not trying to look away because it's early. She's a small, petite woman, and she's like, if this guy fucking tries anything, I have to be ready to defend myself. So she's looking back at him, kind of just keeping track of her surroundings, the exits on the bus, planning if anything could happen. She has her keys inside her bag. She's not going to use her gun, but she has her keys inside her bag between her fingers, waiting. And he stands up and she stands up, and then he gets off the bus. And she watches him get off and looks, and then realizes on the seat there is an envelope. So she runs, grabs the envelope, runs off the bus. That guy's gone. Nowhere to be found, just gone. And she looks in the envelope, and I think it would just have the instructions typewritten out, meet at the park, here's what you say, whatever. So she then just goes to the park.
Awesome. And then what about Neil? How does Neil get contacted? Activated.
Neil, I think that the method that they use to communicate with him is they will place personal ads in the Village Voice that are written in code. So he's always like, he's sitting at the coffee shop or just whatever, maybe not this day, like maybe he's waiting for this meeting, but like he'll just sit at the coffee shop just looking through the personal ads, much to Fran's dismay, probably, like consternation. He's always like just like through the vertical, looking for that whatever the flag is to mark a message to him, and then he will go through like his code, that he has to make it make sense and know what they want him to do.
Okay, so then one by one, you each come up and go through the same code, passphrase, procedure until all of the agents arrive. He brings you over, and He sits on a bench next to you, so you're kind of like spread out a little bit wide. And he leans in as close as he can, trying to keep his voice down. And he's looking all around him. My name is Agent Marcus. What's your name? And he points to Vicki.
Agent Maybelline. And if anyone snickers, she just shoots them dagger eyes and just says, yeah, Agent Maybelline.
They're going to say, if anyone gives her a look, she shoots them.
She pulls out her gun.
Pulls out her gun.
Shoots.
Maybe she's born with it.
Just a cold-blooded murder in the middle of Washington Square Park.
What a way to go.
And you, talking to Neil, what's your name?
You can call me Agent Murnau. And he like looks around at the group. It's like, you get that reference?
I don't know what you're talking about, but all right.
Anybody say anything? Anybody get the Agent Marcus is like, no.
F.W. Murnau, famous German. It's not
Actually,
important.
yeah, I get that reference.
You do?
I watched some German film. Yeah.
Oh, I'm impressed. And you are...
Makeshift.
Right, you said that.
This guy settles in. You see sweat beading all around his hairline.
And I'm Messiah.
Oh.
You didn't ask.
Yeah, I was fast forwarding. I figured he asked. I figured Roger offered that. He says, all right. And you can see Roger with your alertness, you see like his white knuckles just like gripping this brown leather valise. He's just like, all right. Op is missing persons. Female, mid-20s, Caucasian. Went missing June 4th. Right now, it is... misplaced the date. But it is right around August 10th. Right around there. The Tuesday that's around there. August 10th. So it's been a few months since the summertime. He says... Went missing June 4th. NYPD came in a little stronger than usual. They were pushed on it by her father. He's a cop. Got him to look into it pretty hard, and they didn't find anything. And it just went cold fast. But then, just about a week ago, her credit card popped up. It got used at a gas station outside of Fells Point, Maryland.
Wait, what did you just say?
I said a credit card popped up. It got used in Maryland. And that made it interstate. So it got kicked to the FBI. He adjusts his seating, and he turns around, looks behind him, pauses for an uncomfortably long time, and then turns back around. So yeah, sorry, that got the FBI involved. They looked into it, went straight to Fells Point, and nothing there. Just no video surveillance. Nobody remembered who used it. It was a dead end. So then they went to the NYPD, and they said, "Give us all you have on the missing persons." Her name is Abigail Wright, by the way. They said, "Give us everything you have." NYPD had some perfunctory early photographs of the girl's apartment. Well, I came across the desk of one of ours in A cell. She saw an occult symbol in the pictures. Said she was going to take care of it. and got the case routed to us. To M-Cell. So, you, Agent Maybelline, you are, Inspector Maybelline, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right, well, you're going to be in charge on this one. You're, officially deputized to the FBI. I got paperwork in this case. He holds it up and you see his hands are shaking. You've got identification in this case. You're officially deputized to the FBI. You got all the powers of the FBI. The rest of you, and he talks to Agent Murno, Skid, and he says, she's a artist of some kind. She's in the art community. So they brought you in to look into that. Whatever you know about that. And you, he turns to Agent Makeshift, played by Francis. He says, there's a lot of stuff in that apartment. The only reason the FBI is going to let these advisors handle this is because it's work nobody else wants to do. You got to categorize everything in her apartment, and I mean everything. Every stitch is evidence that we need to track. That's going to buy us a lot of time with the FBI. That's all we got to turn over, okay? So every piece in there, I want you analyzing it and making a report that looks good for the FBI. And you, Messiah, you're here in case, anything turns violent. I don't know what to expect, but that symbol, if there's anything unnatural that has to do with her appearance, anything at all, I don't want to know about it. I just want it destroyed. Whatever it is. Now, it might have nothing to do with it, I don't know. But if her disappearance is unnatural, you need to destroy it. And don't tell me about it till it's over. Any of you that, and he snaps his head over to Messiah, looks right at you, and then looks back at Makeshift. You two. Did anyone follow you here?
No,
How do you know? How can you be sure?
because I'm the best.
Trained in tradecraft, the black bag training. I know how to shake a tail.
Okay, that's good. You said earlier, Roger, that you were put off by his kind of skittishness, and you were like wondering if you're going to have to take this guy out. As he looks at you, you can see he's just shaking with nerves, and it's definitely weirding you out a little bit. And maybe your spidey senses are kind of like going on, like getting just like escalated, but you're like, all of a sudden, his voice starts to go away and drown out until you can't hear him, and all of a sudden you start hearing this strange music that just seems out of place. And your alertness 80. It's 80, right? Your alertness? Your 80 alertness. We see it zoom in on Roger's ear as he picks up this the sound of like a trumpet or something, this strange noise. And you turn and look, and by the plaza fountain, where previously you had seen these kids breakdancing and stuff, they're still there, but off to the side, a small crowd has gathered around what looks like a small clown. Child size.
Oh no.
And it's doing this methodic, slow dance to this strange music.
That's horrifying.
Fuck that, man. Fuck this. Abort mission.
Can we all see this? Is it only Roger? Are we
It
all
is
looking?
this is a total Roger zone-in scene. Like the camera went to his ear and his head, and he turns, and you just like, you see this clown dancing, and it's holding in its hand a stick that at the end of it is tied a paper dragon. And it's looping this paper dragon in this slow dance to this odd dirge that just like is drawing you in. Roll an alertness roll.
Okay. 62 under 80.
Nice.
You see that there's something dangerous about this that you can't explain or put your finger on, but you see that there are people around it. There's like a mother holding a kid's hand right next to this, watching this. You now see that the sound that you're probably hearing is coming from a small little like record player that is right next to the clown, and the people are just standing around like nothing's wrong with this, but something about it bothers you. What do you do?
So he just got done saying, "No, I wasn't followed because I'm the best." And then the agent keeps talking, and he stops listening and maybe interrupts him as he continues and says, "We've been compromised. Scatter."
What? Where?
There's a problem by the fountain. Scatter now.
But you need this. You need this information. You need this information. And he holds it out to Vicki Ricci, and he's just like, "Here, take this. Take this." And he hands you this brown briefcase, and then just walks away and disappears into the crowd. What do you all do?
I mean, Vicki takes the briefcase and
Okay.
she stands up and immediately walks in the opposite direction of where that guy just walked.
I get up and start going towards the fountain.
Okay, you start
Give it a
going
few
towards the
seconds.
fountain. What do you do, Makeshift?
I give it a few seconds and I follow Vicki
Okay. And then
at a safe distance.
you keep your distance and start following Vicki. And then what about you, Murno?
I think Murnau
sorry.
he just starts heading right towards off the wagon. Bar around the corner.
I would kill to go off the wagon right now.
I know.
That'd be amazing. Okay, then you guys all in some shape or form scatter. All three of you give me an alertness roll.
Oh boy, not my strong suit.
Is it a D10? No.
No, it's a D100, and then you look at your alertness, and you want to roll under your alertness score that's on your character sheet.
Okay.
94 over 20 for me.
I got 63 over 40.
Okay.
I got
And Vicki?
34 under 50.
Ooh.
34 under 50. Okay. All three of you don't detect any danger. So this guy said, scatter, we've been compromised. And I'm sure, particularly you, Agent Makeshift, are on high alert and have the skills to sort of, be aware if you're being followed and you don't see anything. We cut back to Roger Cumstone, who's walking toward the fountain. And again, this strange dance, this clown. And as you get closer, the music gets louder. And out of this record player, go ahead and give me a search roll.
Search roll. Okay. My search isn't Great.
Didn't know there would be small clowns in this.
I didn't either. There really should have been a trigger warning for all of us.
38 over 20.
38 over 20. Okay, so yeah, you don't notice anything other than what I've already said. This clown dancing, and you start to move toward it.
Yeah, I'm just looking for, I sense the danger. I'm looking to see what the actual danger is. And I'm also looking to see, am I the only one that's seeing this? Or are other people aware of it as well? You said there was a crowd gathered around, but in Roger's mind, he wonders if this is just a hallucination. And maybe there's just like another street performer there. And is he the only one seeing this clown?
Yeah.
Where is the actual danger coming from? Because Roger's senses are usually spot on, but he's so fucked up, he doesn't know what reality is.
Is he as fucked up at this point in his life as he was when we've normally seen him later?
I think it's a different, like he's more grizzled and jaded in the previous seasons. Now he's got kind of this mental issue because he was torn through time and he doesn't know. I think he just questions everything about reality.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I think that in this case, the best way that I can put it with your roles, the combination of your roles, is that you think other people are seeing it. You just don't think anyone is seeing any danger. And you feel like something's very wrong. Mm-hmm. As you move toward it, 2 or 3 different people come closer to see this act. And as your line of sight is brought off of it, you see that they come together and then the people separate and the clown is not there, but he's moving away. Like grabbed his little box and is like dancing away as you're approaching.
I'll keep pursuing. Roger needs to know what's going on here.
Shoot him, Roger.
Okay.
Shoot it.
Kill the child.
Maybe Roger reaches into his bomber and just undoes the clip holding his gun into place.
Oh my God, Troy.
His gun? Can he carry a gun?
Everybody in this bar.
Oh
In
yeah,
New York City?
the one he's carrying is registered. Don't ask him what's in his footlocker.
Skid, we lost focus on your camera if you want to give it a little wamba jamba. All right. Roger unclips and gets comfy with the handle of his pistol in his bomber jacket. And yeah, you see this clown is moving away, and then you see it has like picked up shop and is moving and through the crowd, and you're pursuing.
Yeah, and it's a very slow pursuit. He's just following and watching and trying to understand what's going on here.
Okay. Roll a search as you're trying to track this clown.
24 over 20. It's going to be so hard to hit.
Oh, damn.
24 over 20.
Yeah, I almost put a 40 in search. These would have been 2 successes.
Oh,
Yeah. Your alertness at 80 pings that there may be another clown behind you as you're approaching in this direction.
So I hear like music behind me or something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do I get the sense now that this is a danger that could affect everyone in the park?
You tell me how you interpret it. I'm just telling you it is a danger. Something feels wrong about
If
it.
something
But it could just be that you're scared of clowns. You know what I mean? Like some people could look at a clown and be like, I'm scared of that clown.
Yeah.
Right. But the fact that there's another one and I'm sensing danger from this one, do I see a third one or several of them?
You don't even see a second one. I just said
I sense
you got
it.
the sense that something's behind you. What do? You
I
get the sense of music behind you.
turn around and look behind me.
Kids breakdancing. No sign of any clown. No sign of any music.
When I turn back, is that first clown gone or still there? Gone.
Gone.
Clown.
Let's cut back to Maybelline. It's so funny. Like I'm not sure which name to use, but I want to try to use your agent names because that's what you would know of each other. So Maybelline, what are you doing? As you walk away, you don't see any sense of danger. You're holding this brown leather valise. What do you do?
I think she goes to work. She's got to be at work in a little bit anyway, and the safest place, I mean, she works for the United States Postal Inspection Service. Like, it is a higher security area, and she's like, I have to open this briefcase. I need to learn what's inside. I'm not going to do it here. I will do it in my office. So she goes to work.
Well, the one thing I want to make clear is that you don't know how to contact these people that are in this group.
That's true. Okay,
So
maybe
if you
she
just
doesn't
vanish
go.
with everything in that briefcase, then you're not going to be able to find them again, probably, unless.
That's a good point. Okay, so then I think she will stay in the vicinity of the park, but she will duck into the most inconspicuous bodega, just corner shop. She's just going to duck inside and kind of walk through the aisles as if she's looking for a soda, and she's going to secretly open the briefcase, like in a shelf of one of the aisles, like tucked behind chips, just like kind of look inside.
Okay. You slip this briefcase into a shelf, undo the clasp, and open it. As you start to open the top, you see that there's various pieces of paperwork inside, along with what looks like some lanyards and IDs. And as soon as you see it, your alertness trips off as bling, the bell of the bodega rings. And walking in the door is Agent Makeshift as he follows you. What do you do, Makeshift, as you walk into this bodega? You don't see her immediately upon walking in. You see a counter where people can order, and then you just see a wall of crackers blocking your view into the rest of the place.
Okay. I walk in, I look around, I don't see her, so I go up to the deli. Let me get a bacon, egg, and cheese on everything. Keep looking around.
All right, as you look around, you can see she's a couple aisles in. You notice her unmistakable fingernails. Was it your nails that were like super bright red?
Oh, and she always has like a red lip on. She always has lipstick on. So, lips as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great. So you see you see her as you order, and they're making your order. What do you do, Makeshift?
Okay. I walk over right next to Vicki in the aisle and start looking like I'm going to browse just some items over there. And I don't make eye contact. I just say, so what's inside?
And I think if Vicki has time, she's like rummaging through to see if there's labels for each of us, like the lanyard each of us would get or like whatever. And I think she slides the one for Makeshift, the information for Makeshift, on the shelf and say, these are my favorite chips, the Bugles. You gotta try them. And snaps the briefcase shut and walks out.
Okay, so looking at nothing else in the briefcase, you give him an ID. There is an ID with his picture on it, and it says advisor to the FBI, and you walk out with the briefcase.
And maybe, I think she would also say, because I'm trying to get everybody back together because I have to give them all this stuff. So maybe she says, like corner of X and Y for a street. And she's like, I'll be there in 20 if you want to talk. Just like very casual, and leaves.
Okay. So she gives a meeting place and then leaves, walks back out the store. Now you're carrying this briefcase. What do you do next? Goes to off the wagon.
Yeah, well, I didn't see where anybody else went. But, I probably did see that Cumstone walked toward the fountain. And that's where
Messiah
he was.
to you.
Sorry. I don't know. Who's Cumstone?
No Cumstone here.
I would know that Messiah was looking at the fountain. I think she is aware of her surroundings enough that she is going to head toward there and assume that he's somewhere in that general vicinity.
Okay. Okay. You head into the park and into the fountain area. Does she find Messiah?
Right when she gets up to the fountain, she's looking around for him, and she hears a voice behind her. Looking for me?
Hairs on the back of her short pixie cut haircut stand up, and she straightens and calmly turns around, and she says, "You want to walk?"
Sure. I start walking.
Yeah, away from the fountain. She doesn't know what's up. So she just says,
Do you smoke?
"Yeah, I'll take one."
Sure you can handle a red?
"Yeah, I smoke Parliaments. I don't care."
It's a lady cigarette.
Well,
Hands you a red.
I don't know if you noticed, I am a lady. And she puts a cigarette in her mouth and lights it.
I had a lady corporal in Kuwait. So I'm cool taking orders from you. But let me tell you something, sister. The shit goes down, and it will go down. It always does. Stay out of my way.
It's kind of hard to. You're huge. I'm kidding. But you were in Kuwait? We'll talk about that later.
Yes, beautiful country.
We'll talk about that later. I really don't want to talk about it now. I don't care.
Was there on vacation?
Holiday in Kuwait.
They're on vacation, taking orders from my freaking wife, my nagging wife. She goes, "You got a spot around here? There's some information in here. I'm trying to get everybody on the same page."
Yeah. It's 2-for-1 Jaeger bombs it off the wagon. Why don't we head over there? It's safe. It's only a bunch of college kids and losers.
Yeah, I used to drink there, and I wasn't in college at the time, so it probably makes me the latter. Okay, yeah, let's go. I'm not gonna drink though. I don't drink.
I don't need your life.
You hear
story.
this huge explosion, and then followed by bang, 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 like almost like gunshots. Roger, what do you do? It's behind you in the park.
I grab Maybelline and tackle her into a bush to keep her safe.
Boom! The two of you go into a bush. Roll alertness this time.
Both of us?
Yes.
45 under 80. Get the fuck out of
Oh,
here.
yeah, there you go.
No, 79 over 50. I can't see. I got tackled into a bush.
Yeah.
Messiah
So
just decks you and into this bush. Bam! You go down. You look up, Messiah. Get your bearings with your 45 under 80, did you say? Or was it 70?
45 under 80. 80.
45 under 80. You look at the source of the shots and you see a bunch of kids, like high school kids, laughing that had just set off a bunch of popper fireworks on the ground behind you. And there's like an NYPD officer that's like, get the fuck out of here, like walking over toward him, and they're just laughing, and they just like run off into the park. And you realize that it was like fireworks that they set off, M80s, little poppers.
Well, that was an overreaction.
Yeah, thank you. I don't need you to protect me. She has dirt all over her nice pencil skirt. She's like, I'm never gonna get this out.
Sorry. Earlier I got this sense that something was wrong. I thought it was the chicken coming home to roost.
Should we get out of the park? Are you saying that there's something here?
I don't know. There was a clown with a dragon. And now it's gone.
Like a literal clown? Like there was a clown
There's
in
a
the
tiny
street?
clown dancing with a dragon. What else do you need to know?
Let's go. Maybe you could use a drink. Let's go to off the wagon.
Sorry, I'm a little jumpy. Sorry I got you dirty. It's my natural instinct to protect.
Good to know.
Let's go rip some shots.
I don't drink.
Minutes ago, Francis's character had a bacon, egg, and cheese, and Roger's ready to rip shots.
I think she waits for makeshift on that corner, and then they go to the bar together.
You know, I for weeks, nay, months, I've been preparing for this, and never once did I think that this meeting would take place in Off the Wagon. I'm very excited about this change of events, this unplanned change of events. All right, so Vicki waits for Bobby at the prescribed place and at the assigned place and tells Roger, I got to get Bobby and I'll meet you at Off the Wagon. You guys all come in, and then in there happens to be Neil Bachmann.
Yeah.
Neil Bachmann.
Yeah.
Already in Off the Wagon as Roger walks in the door. Neil, what do you say?
Neil sees them come in and he raises his little glass of amaretto. Waves them over.
All right, you guys go over to like a dark table in the back. The bar just opened, and there is no one in there. Neil is sitting in the back with a fresh amaretto, and the rest of you come into the back corner. What do you do?
Ooh, Bobby stops at the bar. Let me get vodka, neat, please. None of that
Neat?
bullshit Smirnoff. Yeah, give me the Subrovka. Give me the good stuff.
To go with your breakfast sandwich.
Oh,
He dunks it in.
Breakfast of champions.
Dunk it in the vodka.
Vicki says, "Can I get a hot coffee, please? Cream and sugar."
Yes, absolutely. This
Are we
bartender...
too early for the Jaeger bomb special? I know it's only 11 a.m.
Never too early for Jaeger bombs.
I will take 2, please.
2 Jaeger bombs.
Pitcher of Budweiser.
Coming right up. She lays out and serves you everything you want. And Agent Mrema is in the back corner awaiting you.
Okay. Well, let's just go through this together, I guess. I gave Agent Makeshift some of the paraphernalia we got for our credentials. I see we got some other lanyards in here, and I start passing out the lanyards to everybody. Just because I'm leading this case doesn't mean that I don't appreciate input from all of your expertise. I do work in the Postal Inspection Services, so I'm pretty familiar with protocol regarding the FBI. My ex-husband is also in the FBI, so this hits a bit close to home, so I'm pretty positive that I can handle the role. But please feel free to have a look. No secrets here. And she kind of hands out the info.
Okay. You sit down at this table, again, unclicking this valise and opening it up. As you draw out the papers inside, I'm going to need you all to go to roll 20.
Wenzoon.
Papers.
Wenzoon.
I typed some notes in the chat there while Joe was giving us the...
Yeah, thank you, Troy.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Okay. Wait, what chat? What did I miss?
The roll 20.
The roll 20 chat.
Ah, yes. All right, great. I see it now. Awesome. Okay. First thing you see is you pull out a New York Post article.
Ooh.
What's the headline? What's the classic New York Post headline?
Yeah. Well, it's not front page, so.
Missing artist prompts new fears in Kips Bay.
Yes, the headline is Missing Artist Prompts New Fears in Kips Bay by Raymond Diaz. It's an article that describes an artist known as Abigail Wright, who disappeared from her Kips Bay co-op around June 4th. This article was written on July 10th, so it's a month after this was reported. The source that is unnamed in the post says that there's a disturbing collection of items that were found in Wright's apartment, including medical supplies, books, and machinery.
Whoa.
Wright's neighbors have nothing to add. They say she was fine. She was the quiet type.
Kept to herself.
It's also sort of a bad time for Kips Bay in terms of security and criminal activity in the neighborhood. They cite a neighborhood guy named Anthony Scott who says it's well known in the neighborhood that after 5 p.m. the sidewalks roll up and the police are nowhere to be found, particularly on foot. Scott said that people walking around after dark in the area are watching their backs, or should be. So she sets this clipping of the New York Post out on the table. Next comes out an NYPD missing persons report. This is a pretty detailed report that is unfortunately hard to read. Looks like a copy of a copy of a copy. Also, handwriting is terrible. But if you guys can start piecing your way through that, see if you can't put anything together there.
She was
Also,
sorry.
go
So
ahead.
she was reported missing on the 4th?
Yes, on June 4th.
By her father.
The police officer. Her father is a police officer.
Nassau County PD. She was missing
And-
for 4 days. No known criminal association. Entry to apartment.
Apparent disarray, but no signs of foul play.
Yeah. Something with other... Antigone with other Trojans?
Like that, I guess.
See
well,
attached.
Antigone with other Trojans.
that's a great part for her.
Implanted no further Lenos.
Inflated
no further Lenos.
It says see attached. Is there anything attached to this?
Yeah.
No.
I think it said interviews with other tenants. Got no further
Indicated
leads.
no further leads. Okay.
Indicated no further leads.
Okay.
See attached.
You know, it's funny. They say a strange and disturbing collection of items were found, including medical supplies, books, and machineries. Those, in and of themselves, is nothing really strange or disturbing. So I wonder what they're not saying about that. We need the specifics of what that stuff was, because medical supplies.
Yeah.
Is it a drill to drill holes in your head? Because like that's weird.
That's
but
pretty disturbing.
Is it insulin needles?
Yeah, what's the machinery?
Yeah.
Sibian.
Next comes out a Polaroid. A photograph that if you flip it over on the back, it says Wright, A. And you feel like this is a selfie before selfies of Abigail Wright, your missing person.
Whoa.
Wow.
And then
she looks like Uma
lastly,
Thurman.
there's IDs for each of you. And then lastly, there's no paper, but instead, as Vicki turns over the briefcase, dung, 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 thudding out onto the table are a set of keys, along with a small slip that just gives an address
Look at that.
for
In
something
Kips
called
Bay.
the McAllister Building in Kips Bay.
Oh, baby.
That is
The
a
address
nice
is-
place.
210 East 32nd Street.
Are the credentials like aliases as well?
Yeah, the credentials are made up names. Yeah,
For mine as well. For FBI as well.
yeah.
Okay.
Is this apartment on the market yet?
Let's
go on Zillow.
You'll have to find
I'm
out.
just curious because I am looking. It's very nice.
Was Zillow around in 94?
Highly doubt it. Highly doubt it.
Can I do a check, or would I know, like with my 80 in art, if I know of her for any accomplishments in the art world?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, that's great. That's pretty phenomenal. I didn't realize you put an 80 in art.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's amazing.
You're artistic as fuck.
I'm so artistic as all fuck.
That's right.
All right, let's see. Yeah, you can know. What would you know? You would know that. Yeah, you know her name.
Okay.
You know her name because it's ringing a bell, but it's very vague. It's about, hard for you to say, a year ago, a little less than a year ago, you remember hearing her name associated with a showing, like an artistic showing that happened in the village. It happened in Greenwich Village last year at some point. And you hear that it just went really well. Okay. That it was at a gallery in that area, and you heard that she was this up-and-coming painter.
Okay, painter. Okay. And he shares this.
Up-and-coming painter. Does she have any patrons or any people that would pay for her stuff or champion her in the art world?
Possibly. My memory about her is so vague. I know that she had some sort of a successful showing at some gallery. You know what? I can talk to my assistant. I'll have him look into it.
Well, I also think, first order of business is we should definitely take a look at her apartment. Now we have the keys, and I'm really curious now to see what these paintings are, I'll be honest.
Yeah, and I'm curious about the medical equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say want to go pick up my forensics bag with all the tools I will need to examine the scene and examine whatever we might find.
Yeah, I think Vicki also wants to get some stuff from work, just some of her personal, when they do drug busts within the mail world, it's they test for chemicals, they test for anthrax, lots of stuff. So I think she's got some test kits. And she also has to show up to work at least and save some face before she goes off today.
What was the handler's name that gave us the mission?
Oh, yeah.
Agent Marcus.
So Roger says,
was I the only one that didn't feel great around Agent Marcus? He seemed
he was
a little too shaky.
It did seem a little jumpy.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if he was green or just bad at his job.
Or maybe he wasn't telling us something.
Green, a little green around the gills, more like.
It's a good one. It's funny.
Thank you. I'm an artist of some repute.
What do you paint? Are you a painter?
Actually, I do paint a little bit, but that's not what I'm chiefly known for. But we'll get into all that later. There's plenty of time for us to get to know each other as people.
Maybe we could dispense with the informal nature of these code names and introduce ourselves.
That's not exactly standard procedure, Agent...
Lockwood. Ferdinand Lockwood.
What?
That's what it says here on my credentials.
I see.
Ferdinand
Right.
Lockwood.
Right. Do we pick, Joe, are we picking our names or are we assigned identities?
You're picking your names, but you are assigned identity.
Okay.
Okay.
well, now that's cleared up.
This game is so confusing.
Jesus
No. I'm
Christ.
saying they picked your name,
No,
but
my name
in
is
our
Jesus Christ.
game, you are picking the name. I'm not picking
Got you.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So Ferdinand Lockwood it is.
Yes, Agent Ferdinand Lockwood. Yeah, something about that handler didn't feel right. I felt pretty confident that I wasn't followed, but he kept bringing it up. So we should be careful. There's a chance that even though it's been a while since this disappearance happened, that we may be being watched. He looks at the bartender.
Oh, she's okay. I know her.
Do you?
Yeah, known her for a while. Semi-regular. But now he's like looking at her.
What's she doing?
She's cleaning a glass.
Very
She's not paying any attention to any of you.
So,
And the moment you turn away, she goes. And we see her looking at you guys, but none of you see her seeing you. And then she goes back to washing her glass.
I mean, I'd probably look at us too. We're a weird group.
Yeah, it's 11 a.m.
It's 11
11 a.m.
It's 11 a.m.
Think
We're
that
going
glass
to
is
tonight.
clean by now?
Okay.
Pop.
So
A second whenever here.
the apartment is in Kips Bay, so can we say we make a plan to meet, I don't know, at a certain time in Brooklyn?
Yeah, we should all take separate modes of transportation. I live on the Upper West Side.
It's not in Brooklyn. It's on the east side of Manhattan.
Oh, Kips Bay, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, Kips Bay.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, that's the Kips Bay
that's
movie
perfect.
theater. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Kips Bay movie theater.
I love that theater.
But Bobby has his office is in the UN building, so that's perfect. He's going to stop by there, grab his forensics bag, and then meet everybody at Kips.
Okay, cool.
I live on,
Okay.
on 91st and West End Avenue, so it's going to be a real pain in the ass to get over there.
And I work at that huge federal post office building on the west side in the 30s near Penn Station. What building is that? It's the government
Penn Station.
with the steps.
It's the 20.
Oh, the post
Is it
office.
24-hour
The post office.
24-hour post office.
yeah, is that
that's
it?
great.
Yeah, I work there at the post office.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna hang out in the city because it's easier for me to just walk up there from the from Alphabet City than it is to go all the way back home. I just won't bring my assault rifle. The serial number scratched off,
You sure?
but I have it for longer.
Vicki just stands up, says 2 p.m. and she puts $3 on the table and click, 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 just walks out.
$3. That's all.
I had a coffee. I'm not cheap. I had a single coffee and I put
right.
down
We'll get the
$3.50.
Yeah, with inflation, that's probably about right.
Bring. You hear the phone ringing in the bar. Bartender walks over. Click. Off the wagon. No. She looks at you.
Oh, jeez.
No. Okay. And hangs up.
I'm gonna walk over, ostensibly to get another drink. And hi, could I get an anisette this time? That wasn't for me, was it? I'm expecting a call. They might call me here.
No. I know they do sometimes, Mr. Bachmann, but no, that was not for you.
Bachmann.
She goes down and starts making your drink. What do the rest of you do?
Smash the last of my drink. And I head out.
Roger leaves without paying.
Oh shit! I should have left. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave $10 on.
See you in Kips Bay.
Okay, you guys are going off and doing your thing. What was Neil doing? I can't remember.
I haven't said. I think I'm gonna go. He's gonna go to his office in Tribeca, and he's gonna harass his assistant Noah if he's there to do this research to figure out where he knows this woman from. if he's not around, he's going to do it himself. But he'd really rather force Noah to do it.
Okay. Yeah, so we just see Neil walk into his office. What does your office look like? How big is it? Is it like a tiny studio? Is it like kind of nice? Does he have money now?
Small. I think there's he does have a little bit of money. It's like there's like an outer area and like a back office. And it's like there's like dream catchers all over the place, like a big cow skull. And there's just papers just like everywhere. It's a little shabby. It's like
as you approach the door,
of the Trump organization.
As you approach the door, you hear the unmistakable sounds of something that you're somewhat familiar with Noah doing, though you've asked him not to do it while you're around, which is you hear the sounds of a radio broadcast of what sounds like a preacher. And you know that Noah is an evangelical Christian and listens to this stuff, and it drives you nuts. So you hear this sort of preacher thing, coming out through the door as you open it.
Okay. Just like rolls his eyes and like walks over to the radio and just changes the station until he hears Billy Joel, which shouldn't be long.
And that Noah stops, his head snaps up. Oh, I didn't know you were coming in.
Yeah, sorry, change of plans. Noah, you're free to do whatever you want to in the office while I'm not here. Except for that, please don't listen to that ever.
Not even when I'm not here.
No, not even particularly when I'm not here.
Fine.
Noah,
I didn't think you were coming in today.
Well, I didn't either, Noah. That's how the world works sometimes. You get surprises.
Okay, well, I'm working on the Bagel Thief edit.
Bagel.
Got nothing. A book written years later by
our old friend Jordy Arsenault, still working on that still hammering away at that manuscript, is he?
Yes.
Okay, well, I prefer that you do work for me that I ask you to do, rather than just people I vaguely know because we're in the art scene together.
Yes, I'm all caught up on what you need. Yes.
Do you know? Do you remember the name Abigail Smith?
Right.
Abigail Smith. Does that name strike a bell for you, Noah?
WRIGHT.
Not Abigail, right? Abigail, right?
Abigail Smith. Right. That's a really good
Smith. Right.
Smith.
All right. So Abigail Smith. Do you know this name?
That's the name of the girl.
Right?
Abigail. That does sound familiar. Abigail. I'm going to roll a fortune roll.
Okay.
Let's see. Abigail. Right. Yes, I do recognize that name. She did a showing. What was that, a year ago? She did a showing. And he starts going into his binder that he keeps of all this information of all these the galleries downtown and stuff like that. He's like, well, I think it was the Mercury. And as soon as he says that, it rings a bell in your head that it was at the Mercury Gallery. She did a showing last year, and he starts going into this paperwork and he finds it. He finds the day of this showing, and it was in November of 1994. Wow. And it was a showing by Abigail Wright of 16 paintings.
Okay. Are there any pictures of the paintings?
No. What he has is just cold data of what their schedule was, essentially.
Okay.
What the gallery schedule was, but you might get a better idea if you went to the gallery, possibly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna head on down there. Yeah. Good job,
Why?
Noah.
What's going on with her?
Doesn't matter.
Is she someone you're working with, or
no? It's not a big deal. Don't look her up, and your radio privileges have been taken away for the rest of the week. Bye, Noah. And I take the radio with me. I take the radio with me when I leave.
No, don't. Oh, come on. And the door closes behind you. You're carrying the radio and the wire is dragging on the ground
I'm going to take it on the subway with me. This corded radio.
Just out of pure spite.
It's purely out of spite.
Bye, Noah.
Bye, Noah.
Bye, Noah.
Say goodbye to the radio, Noah. Bye-bye, Noah.
This great song by Depeche Mode. Enjoy the silence.
That's right. That's right. Song
Okay,
you'll never be
then-
able to listen to.
And then Francis, Bobby, goes to his office and you gather your kits. Now, in your office, you don't really have anyone to contend with in this morning at this time because there's a certain distance that you have from people at your office. Like, you are sometimes a little persona non grata. Like, you do a lot of, internal counter espionage kind of work. So you're always not trusting the agents around you, which means it creates an energy where no one really wants to know what you're doing. So tell me what happens as you go into your office.
Right. So I walk into our office. It's ostensibly office in the United Nations, part of the United Nations. The translators management office is what it looks like. But inside, everybody is CIA. Everybody has their role to play. I am walking in. Everybody just kind of pauses, gives me the nod. No exchanges of greetings or anything, just nods as I walk past. Don't really make any eye contact with everyone. Just walk past straight to my office in the back.
You're like the Serpico of the UN.
Basically, yes. Nobody. I'm meant to blend into the background, and everybody's just fine, kind of letting me stay there. So I'm good. That's where I do my best work.
As you get to your cube, your area, you're going to walk into it, and you see that 2 different trash cans that are like spread out on the floor, that are communal use for everyone, have been moved to directly next to your seat, and they're full of trash.
Thanks, guys. I just place those full trash cans outside of my cube, just out of my way. Kind of look around. Nobody's looking at me. Nobody's trying to make eye contact. I get the message. Fuck everybody in here.
Fuck everybody.
Go under my desk. Type in a couple of numbers into a safe underneath the desk there. Cracks open. There's a bunch of cash, a big duffel bag, a couple of firearms, and I grab the duffel bag, pull it out, open up, make sure it's got all the everything I need for a crime scene investigation. I got my gloves, I got my forensic items and whatnot. I grab one of the pieces, put it inside the bag, zip it up, check my email real quick, nothing important, grab it, look around the office, everybody's engaged in whatever business they got. I give them a quiet fuck you face and I walk out.
Awesome. You head back out. Let's go to Vicki. You head into your office and it's loud and it's busy, and as soon as you walk in, a woman walks up to you, and her name is Carly. She's a coworker of yours that you guys regularly work on operations together. She's like a partner to you. You come in and she comes up to you right away and is like, I got more information on the Harrison case, and I need you to take a look over it and tell me if you notice anything out of place. And she's talking about an active case that you're working on that you had asked her to get something for you for, and she has it and brings it over to your desk. It has to do well, we don't have to get into what it has to do with, but it's something that is like urgent, basically.
Okay. Oh, amazing. Carly, can you do me a favor? Could you...
anything. What do you need?
Could you... I will take a look at this tomorrow. Could you do me a favor and just do the outline for me today and just note it, just tab it for me, and I will flip through tomorrow. I got a meeting with my sponsor, and I got to run at lunch to it. I just don't want this to sit on my desk for 4 hours and, like Greg to get on my back about it. It's the last thing I fucking need today.
All right. I'll do this because I love you, but I hate tabbing. I hate tabbing.
I'm sorry. I hate to make you tab. I don't want to make you do it.
Okay. She pulls the stack of paperwork that she had gotten together for you. That's all pretty raw. She has to really narrow it down, and you're asking her to do what you know to be a pain in the ass job. Yeah. And she takes it back from you, and as it pulls away, you see that your phone has a blinking red light under messages.
Thank you, Carly. I'll see you in a minute. I'm going to check in a sec. And then she just closes the door. Or wherever. She's got a cubicle. I don't know. But she picks up the receiver and checks her message.
And you hear a familiar voice. Hey, V. Sorry I missed you this morning. Oh, I had too much. I apologize. I didn't mean to do that. I just, it was a rough day yesterday at the office, and I appreciate you letting me stay over. Well, just give me a call when you get a chance. We got this meeting with the lawyers on Thursday, and I want to talk to you about it. I think that, I don't know. I want to talk to you about it. Just call me when you get a chance. All right. I love you. Bye. And he hangs up.
She just quickly deletes the message, hangs up the receiver, and she's like, fuck, and flips through her calendar and circled a bunch of times is meeting Thursday. And she's just like, this Thursday, this fucking Thursday. Okay. And collects her books and stuff. And then she goes into not the evidence locker area, but their kit area where she keeps her tactical vest, her pistol, and they check out all their equipment and stuff. I guess the cage. And she checks out her pistol, her tactical vest, some forensic evidence kits, maybe a fingerprinting kit, maybe some test strips for chemicals and blotters and stuff for that. And she goes off. Now I'm assuming it's probably 12:30, 1 o'clock. So she's going to grab a quick bite to eat and then head over to Kips Bay. And she checks in with Carly. And before she leaves, and she goes,
why do you need all that stuff for your meeting?
It's for tomorrow. And I got the meeting with
tomorrow?
For the Harrison case? Am I going to have to... Well, I don't know. I was waiting on you. I figured I'd check it out early just in case there was anything important that I needed to get. Why are you looking at me like that? Is it not important?
No, it's just not a crime scene investigation. I don't... is everything all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I have the meeting on Thursday with the lawyers for Christopher, and that was just the message on my machine. I'm like, if one more person...
God, him again.
...needs me for emotional labor, I might as well put on a construction worker hat and go down to 96th Street and work on the subways. I mean, I'm done doing the heavy lifting. You know what I'm saying? What's the top 5 from what you've got so far? I'll make a mental note of it on the bus ride.
I need more time. But I'll let you know.
Okay. I'm sorry, Carly. I love you. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay. And you leave, and she gets back to work. Now, Roger stayed in the city during this time, and I'm curious where Roger is at with his life in the city. You said that he's on the Upper West Side-ish, and I'm curious because last we saw he was with Norma in Baltimore. She had slept there, seemed like a one-night stand kind of thing, but then she was like, look me up if you're ever in New York, and she took off back to New York where she works. how long ago was that? How long ago has Roger been here? And has he contacted Norma, or what's going on with him?
Yeah, I'd say like the next day he packed up, grabbed his parrot Jimmy, and just drove to New York. And he was just sleeping in his car for the first week. So he didn't call her right away.
With his parrot.
Yeah, he just sleeping in the car with his bird shit all over the place.
Oh God, it's gotta smell terrible in that car.
Man.
And
Roger and a bird.
There's newspapers, there's New York Times all over the place, and Village Voice is just like circled to like look at apartments and stuff. And eventually he found a place on 250 West 91st Street. There is a gay couple that owns a townhouse. Their names are, there's a short black guy, his name's Pizarro, and his husband is this older white gentleman with gray hair, and his name is Jerry. So Pizarro and Jerry own this townhouse on the Upper West Side, and it's a really nice townhouse, but they have a basement, and there's a room in the basement that they used to use for like when family would come by. It has a shower in the living room that is just a stand-up stall.
Yeah, with like the curtain is
like
a circle.
It's just it's just a shower that's in the living room. It's a very makeshift. It almost looks like an RV apartment, but they decided to make some extra money, they would start renting it out. And it was only $750 a month, which for the Upper West Side is insane. And this is all based on my first apartment that I got in New York City. The names and locations have been ever slightly changed. And so he gets that apartment, and then he gets a job. There's a gas station on 96th Street and West End Avenue, and there was when I was living there. It's a mobile, so he had experience working at a Shell station outside of Fells Point. So he went in there, and they hired him on the spot. So he's been working that job. But now it's 12:30 in the afternoon, and he's already had 2 Jaeger bombs and a pitcher of Bud Light. So we see him in he's ducked into a little alleyway on 17th Street and Avenue A, and he's got a cigarette dangling out of his mouth, and he's just pissing into an alley. Just really letting it all out.
So dignified.
What
And then
does he think? I wonder if it occurs to him again that that her credit card showed up in a gas station outside of Fells Point, Maryland.
Well, this is the second thing that's shaken him today, or really the third thing. The first was the clown and the dragon, and he felt like a crazy person making the group scatter. And then he hears that explosion and dives to jump on Agent Maybelline. And then he hears I guess before that is when he hears about the credit card in Fells Point, and he's like, wait a minute, what's going on? So he feels really unstable. So after he pisses, he goes into a little tiny liquor store that is just like one, a typical New York store that is just like an aisle. It's so small. And he goes in and he gets what are those little ball, like a 350 milliliter bottle of brandy. And then he goes into a 7-Eleven and gets a extra large iced coffee, dumps out half of it, and pours the whole bottle of brandy in. And then he goes over to a payphone, and he's looking for some change. And at this point, he started to spend some time with Norma. She was a little shocked at first that he moved to New York. Maybe he wasn't completely truthful about it. He's like, no, I've been meaning to do this for a while. I got a job, and whenever she asks questions, he kind of deflects. So they've been seeing each other, and they were supposed to get lunch today, but now he's going to go meet in Kips Bay at 2. So he calls her up. He's just waiting for her.
Does he call her at her office?
Yeah, he calls her at her office.
Okay.
He puts out the cigarette on the side of the telephone booth.
You click. This is Norma.
Hey, it's Roger.
Hi, Roger.
Hi, how are you?
I will be better when I'm out of here and having lunch with you.
Yes.
Where are we going?
Well, that's actually why I'm calling. I'm unfortunately I'm not going to be able to make lunch today, but I may be around for dinner, and so it's possible I may be around for dinner. It's also possible I might not be.
Shit, I'm sorry. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Hold on.
If you would like to continue the call,
Yeah,
please
I can-
deposit 35.
Hold on, sorry, I'm on a payphone. It's 94 and nobody has cell phones.
It's still
95.
1994. Sorry, 1995.
What? Sorry. Yeah.
So I just moved something, and I can do dinner.
You can. Okay.
I can.
I am 85 to 92% sure that I can do dinner. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go do my thing that I have in about an hour and 45 minutes when you and I were supposed to be getting lunch. And then, providing that doesn't go too late, I will hit you back and pick you up outside of your place.
Okay, I'll be outside of my place at 7.
7 should work.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
let
see
me
you
ask
then.
you. No, wait.
Should
Actually,
click.
can I?
And the money has been spent. Yeah, she's gone. You can call again if you'd like.
No,
for
he-
another 35 cents.
Maybe he goes in and realizes he doesn't have change. He's like, fuck. And so he looks around and sees an internet cafe like a block away.
Oh, yeah.
And so he keeps drinking his brandy and coffee and walks into the internet cafe, waves at the guy. He's like, I'm going to use one of these fucking computers. And he sits down, logs into AOL, and he goes into the search engine and he searches for Bachmann and artist because he overheard the bartender say Mr. Bachmann.
Yeah.
With his alertness, he just picked up on that. And so Roger just wants to know who he's working with.
Yeah. Neil walked into a place where he is known. And Roger picks up on it. What
I
does he
smoke in
find,
here?
Skid? No. No, you can't smoke in here.
All right, come on. There's nobody in here.
Fuck it. The guy turns back around, and he goes back to Doom. He's playing Doom. What does he find, Skid, when he researches Bachmann and artist?
You see
On Netscape.
on Netscape.
Oh my god, Netscape.
Like us. You see that this Neil Bachmann has been he's sort of celebrated in like really hardcore arty circles. His stuff, he's a filmmaker, he's mostly known as like a filmmaker, like documentaries and some like short subject stuff. He does some painting and everything. And he sort of burst onto the scene later as at sort of advanced days, like in his mid 40s. And if you look deeper into it, you find out that he was a medical doctor and he just abandoned the profession at some point and never really has explained satisfactorily why. And so, he has this history as a medical doctor and now he makes weird movies.
Okay, so he sees all that, and then he highlights Bachmann and deletes it and types Abigail Wright, but keeps artist in the search and clicks that.
Good. That'll save some time. Precious time.
I'm gonna do a roll here. You
I'll tell
don't
you what he's
see
most
anything
interested
on
in.
Abigail,
Okay.
right?
Okay, I want to
Yeah.
see if any of her artwork was online.
Yeah. So that is not something you're able to find.
Okay.
It's just you're getting people that do not match the description of a young artist in New York City when you search Abigail Wright.
Still early in the internet days. We just might not have that much information on there.
All right. He stands up, goes to walk out, and then he's like, do you have a bathroom here by any chance?
This guy pulls his headphones off. What?
Bathroom. Do you have a bathroom?
No.
What
And
happens?
you can like tell that he's lying.
What happens? What happens when you have to go? What happens when you have to go?
Fuck. Fine. And he goes into a drawer. He pulls out a key. He's like, it's over there. In the employees only door there. You can use this.
You know, my father taught me
What?
there's always a bathroom.
He's wasted. He grabs the key and walks there,
Brandy and coffee on your breath.
knocks over a couple
Sunglasses
chairs
on.
on the way, and just goes in there, pisses all over the wall.
Pisses all over the walls.
Thanks,
I thought he was
Kimo-sabe.
gonna say, "Do you know my father?"
Do you have any idea who my father is?
Do you know my father is?
Because I don't.
Throws him the key and says, thanks, Kimo-sabe. And then he walks out.
Yeah, this guy's just playing Doom, and the key just like hits the keyboard, just like clunk, clunk, clunk.
This guy dies.
Son of a bitch! And then we cut out of there to Roger getting to the meet, which is 2:00 on the east side. Everybody's there as Roger comes walking up, a giant 7-Eleven coffee in his hand. The three of you are standing there. You are just a few blocks away from the building. You have your IDs on. Do you do anything else? Or say anything to each other before moving toward the building?
Do we know if the apartment is empty, or are we gonna go into like an active crime scene kind of situation? Like, because we should get our story straight if we have to talk to people.
I would assume it's no longer an active crime scene. It's been over a month. But I think that, I mean, obviously the FBI was pulled into this, so it's not strange that we would be checking again. Perhaps we found a new lead. I mean, but I do think we need to get our story straight in regards to what each of us is going to look for when we're in there. We're only going to have a certain amount of time, and we can only focus on a certain amount of things. So is anybody looking for anything specific? I am most interested in the photos that were mentioned with a symbol on them. My specialty, I do well with forgeries and mail fraud. So if I'm familiar with this symbol, perhaps it's a bigger operation. A lot of like sex trafficking, child trafficking in the mail system is an occurrence. So I'm going to be looking out for that.
I'm going to be looking for signs of a struggle, see if anybody got hurt. The reports all said there were no signs of foul play. That doesn't mean that there actually wasn't. That just means they weren't in the reports. If the FBI came in there and saw something, they wouldn't release that information to the public. But I'll find it.
Especially for father as a police officer.
Just to be clear, the FBI has never been into this apartment. You are the FBI going into the apartment for the first time.
Oh, I thought that
The
sheet said the FBI.
NYPD has been in the apartment. The NYPD didn't find anything a month ago. This now, the fact that her credit card was used in another state has made it interstate and has allowed the FBI this chance.
So we're getting
to
in there
go
before the feds, which is huge. Okay.
You are the feds.
Right.
You are the feds going in. Like it is,
Before
it's
any other
official.
feds.
It's FBI. It's just that they've skirted it over to Delta Green friendly FBI people, basically. To put it
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
Agent Lockwood. So I'm going to look for blood.
Well,
Moving along.
I'm very curious about these medical equipment. I have something of a medical background. And I might be able to see something.
Skid made the gag me gesture.
Gross.
I know, right?
Right. I'm gonna go through her mail, all her letters, all her trash. I'm gonna find whatever details I can to link her to any other leads that we might have. Check through her her cabinets, her drawers, basically looking for any.
Yeah, I mean, and the FBI guy and the guy told you that your job, and I mean, it's all of you, but really he was having you spearhead it there, Francis, is
Right.
categorizing everything in the apartment as evidence. As, yeah.
Get my gloves on.
And I will say, with your saying that you want to go through her mail, that you also notice what is almost certainly, along with the 2 larger keys that you have, a smaller key, which is most likely a mail key. So you've got those 3 keys.
Cool.
And
Vicki says, "This is a mail key." I know. I'm in the postal inspection service.
She's good.
Clarifying.
You're welcome.
I couldn't tell.
you're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay, so it's 2:15 p.m. and you all you start heading down East 32nd Street. And as you get about a block away, and these are long blocks, you see halfway down is like a cross street. I think it's 3rd Avenue, maybe 2nd. And then half a block down, you see what's most likely the location. But before you get there, from about a full block away, you see a man in a trench coat in the middle of summer, standing outside the apartment, just looking up at it.
Okay. Is he dressed like a
And
clown?
we'll see you next week.
Shoot him!
Roger pulls out his Glock.
Put him down.
Him out.
Blood spattering everywhere.
I was thinking, like, when you said, like, Roger, you're here just in case there's violence, and I was thinking, no, he's here to ensure that there's violence.
Yes. Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, great job. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you in a week.
Oh, I can't wait.